Welcome back to the campaign videos that we're doing here at the Bath-Brunswick Regional Chamber. I'm Executive Director Cory King. And yeah, this is a series that our chamber does every cycle. So you get to meet the candidates that are in the districts where your business is or where you live to get to know these hosts a little bit. So today we've got Denise Tepler with us. Hello, Denise. How are you?
Hi, Corey. I'm good. It's good to see you.
Good to see you again as well. Um, And there is a disclaimer I have to put out front that the chamber does not endorse anybody for Statehouse. We offer this to all candidates running for office that are going to be on the ballot. We don't do write-ins, and again, just to get you to get to know who these people are. So with that, Denise, we've done this before because you've yeah we've done this with your house seat. But yeah, as you know, it's just five questions we like to ask everyone the same five, and then we'll go off on tangents as we are wont to do. But the first question, tell us what district you're running for and where does that cover?
The district I'm running for is Senate District 24, previously held by Senator Eloise Vitelli, and it covers all of Sagadahoc County and the town of Dresden in Lincoln County. And Sagadahoc County includes Richmond, Bowdoin, Bowdenham, Topsom, West Bath, Bath, Phippsburg, Arousick, Georgetown, and Woolwich.
There you go. There you go. So yeah, if you're in one of those communities, this is your home. And you've been in the legislature before.
I
Um,
have. I
yeah,
served 8 years.
yeah, yeah, on the House side in Thompson. So that's great. So hey, question number two. Tell us a little bit about your background and why you're running for office.
Well, first of all, I first got into policy issues when I got elected to the school board in to represent Topsom on the SAD 75 school board. And it was really satisfying to work with a variety of people from different towns and to do what I hope was some good for kids. And so I fell in love with that public service. I have 5 kids of my own, and my husband and I have lived in Topsom for 41 years, married for 43. Been in the current house we're in actually for 38, almost 39 years. Yeah, we got a lot of stuff to dig out here. um, so after school board, I went and served on the Topps Municipal Finance Committee for 6 years and learned a lot about municipal budgets and how tough that is. And then I was fortunate enough to be elected by Topsom to go to the legislature as their representative. And I served 8 years, including 4 as the chair of Health Coverage Insurance and Financial Services Committee. My background, because we're all citizens in this citizens legislature, my background and interest is deeply steeped in making healthcare more affordable.
Love that. I love that. As you're going around knocking on doors and meeting all the people in Saginaw County, and Dresden, what are the top three issues affecting Mainers right now that you look forward to working on if elected?
Well, I see Mainers as deeply affected by inflation and prices in the state of Maine. Some of our prices are higher than other states, especially energy and electricity. Um, but also our groceries are very expensive. So I'm hearing a lot about that. I think for me, what that means is we have to work harder to get more really good jobs in Maine, get our economy really moving, and bring wages up. So that's what I hope to be able in some way to work on. I think 3 things are holding back our economy, and one of them is housing
Yeah.
because BIW has tried to hire people and then not been able to find them a place to live. And that's certainly true for other businesses as well. And it's a serious problem for professionals starting out, like doctors. And another issue is childcare. And I really look forward to working on that because I have some good ideas about that, I think. And it's really important that we take good care of our youngest citizens so they can grow up and be productive and healthy, and that their families are comfortable with how they're being taken care of. And then finally, I think we have to take a look at why our wages aren't keeping up with prices and costs. Not positive what we can do with that. Maybe raise minimum wage, maybe not. I don't know that that's the answer, but I do think we need to take a good look at why we're not in the median for New England wages overall.
Yeah. No, indeed, a couple anecdotes on that. My in-laws stayed with us for a bit this summer, and my parents came up the summer before, both from out of state, and both of them mentioned the grocery prices. And you don't think about it. You don't think about it if you haven't been other places. You're just like, this is what it costs, And they said no, oh no, this they were really shocked by that. So that was one thing that was interesting to me. And the two things that you hit on, housing and childcare, those are the ones that I'm hearing too when I go out and talk to businesses. And it's a weird situation for the businesses because you'll have some businesses that say, "Hey, this really isn't our responsibility as a business. Our business makes widgets. We're not in housing." But if their employees can't find it, then by default it has fallen to them. And so there are some businesses, BIW a prime example, that are really starting to take an active role in this. But one of the things I say to everyone about housing or childcare or transportation, you know, and some of these other bigger issues is if the answer was inside the box, we would have found it by now. So it's got to be at least a little bit outside the box, and we've got to be at least a little bit comfortable with some outside thinking and trying some things that we haven't tried before. Because clearly, the things we've tried before just aren't working. We haven't kept up, and so
Well,
I
and
love hearing
also,
the emphasis there.
oh, sorry, Cory.
No,
I
no, no.
also, I think we've lost some of the way that businesses used to do business, where they did work harder to provide housing for their workers and did have their own childcare centers. I'd really like to find some ways to incentivize businesses having, more childcare either on site or working with a partner in the community. And I know BIW is currently working on that,
Yeah.
but I believe that they're not the only business that could be incentivized to do that.
No, I think on-site or near-site is such a great idea. I mean, what does that do for retention of employees? What does that do for recruitment of employees to say, hey, we've got some spots in this daycare, and we're going to help subsidize some of that cost for you, or even just have it available. I mean, sometimes it's just a question of availability. On the childcare center end, it's hard for them to keep their professionals because if the only revenue stream is from the parents paying for the childcare, and you want to pay the employees more, then your only revenue stream is to charge the parents more. And the parents say, we can only afford so much to do with childcare. So what's that third rail? What's that alternate funding source that maybe these childcare workers can get a little bit more professionally paid for the professional workers that they are without burdening the parents so much that they can't afford to do the childcare? And
Yeah,
honestly,
it's
for
a
the
catch
workforce,
22 of sorts
it
because
is a catch 22. And the
you,
thing that
yeah.
I think childcare is the thing where we can find the quickest path to victories because there are parents that aren't in the workforce for no other reason than the cost it would be for them to do the childcare compared to what they would make during those hours. It's a negative for their family budget. It's actually more affordable for them not to work and to watch their kids than it is to go to work. And so,
Or
yeah,
even, I mean, it's even a productivity question. So
yeah,
my daughter um, works for an educational software company, and she works remotely primarily. And her daughter, my granddaughter, is in a daycare. But there was an incident at the daycare yesterday, and my daughter's not completely comfortable. So she's keeping her daughter out today, which means she won't be able to work. It also means she might want me to be there all day tomorrow so she can work, which, I love to do that. I
Sure.
provided daycare for her in the past. Um, but all these issues are very clear to me personally, as well as talking to people and businesses. The productivity, the lack of people in the workforce, and particularly since COVID, when a lot of the small family daycares were forced to close. We don't have a whole lot of those
19%
anymore.
that we lost in the state. And some of
Mhm.
those have come back, but still, that's a scary number.
Yep.
No. So anyway, I could go on and on about that. Let's question 4. So if voters could only know 2 things about you before they fill out their ballot, or what would those 2 things be? I have asked this question differently to people, saying after you've knocked on someone's door and you're walking down the driveway again, what do you hope they remember about you? So that, take it however you want.
Well, I hope they remember that I make them feel listened to, that it's my intention to be responsive to them. Whether I agree with them or not, I'm going to listen, and maybe learn something. And the other thing that I hope they remember is that I am the most experienced of the 3 candidates in this race.
Yeah. Yeah.
So those are the 2 things. I'm responsive. People in Topsom have found me to be that way. I make my home phone number public, and I will return calls. I don't always answer right away, but I will return calls, and I will generally return emails.
Yep, that's excellent, and the committee experience is also something very very important there. Where for those that don't know, there's less senators than there are representatives, and so there's gonna be more chances for committee assignments for the senators and that sort of thing, and to be on these committees and chairing these committees and that sort of thing, and with your experience, that certainly plays a role. In that. So, Denise, before I ask you the final question, is there anything that I haven't asked you about that you wanna put on the ring, put out there?
One thing I want people to understand is that at least 2 years ago, when I left the legislature, we were still able to work across party lines in the legislature. Um, and that even though there are some issues we may not ever come together on, the vast majority of issues we can work together on. And I truly believe that if my idea is that the solution is, way over here, but my colleagues think this is good enough, well, I've still made a step forward for the people of Maine, and we've come together to find at least a partial solution to something. And so that's really something I want people to know. We're not Washington. We're a bunch of Maine citizens, and we really can work together.
Well, and it's just like the issues that you said you're focusing on.
Mhm.
Housing, childcare, wages, the healthcare. That's not red or blue or purple or any other color. That affects everyone.
Mhm.
And so that's so nice to hear that pragmatism is wonderful. Question number 5: what is the best way for people to connect with you or find out more about you as a candidate?
Well, first of all, I do have a website, teplerforsenate.com. And you can always give me a call. That's 207-729-4018. That's my landline, folks. Um, I still have one because I live in Topsom and my cell coverage isn't that great.
Yeah.
And the other way is to send me an email. My campaign email is Tepler for Senate 24 at gmail.com. So 3 different ways you can get in touch, and I'm happy to hear from you. Oh, you can also reach me through the website. There's a messaging or contact thing on there that sends me an email, and I can respond.
Wonderful, Denise. Well, great catching up with you again. Good to see you. Thanks for the time.
Thanks, Cory. I think I missed the last Chamber After Hours. I hope to get to another one soon.
Yeah, hope to see you there soon. Denise, thank you so much.
All right, you're welcome. Take care, Cory.